Welcome to our channel, you guys. I am so beyond stoked to finally share this experience with you. So, get ready to be transported to, literally, the most magical place I've ever been, Myanmar. We're talking golden temples, stunning landscapes that look straight out of a movie, and a culture so rich, it's actually unbelievable. Okay, so picture this. Vibrant streets, monks in their bright orange robes, and these crazy delicious smells coming from street food vendors. It's honestly a sensory overload in the best way possible. I swear, I'm obsessed with this country. This trip was truly a journey for my soul, and I can't wait to share all the insanely beautiful things I saw and the amazing people I met. This is going to be a whole mood, you guys. Get ready for some serious travel envy. You've been warned. Alright, let's kick things off in Yangon, which is the biggest city in Myanmar. First stop, the Shwedagon Pagoda. And guys, this place is literally gold. Actually gold. It's huge, it's sparkly, it's honestly extra in the best way possible. I'm talking blindingly beautiful. It's no wonder this place is the most sacred Buddhist pagoda in all of Myanmar. The vibes were immaculate. Okay, but Yangon isn't just temples and stuff. It's got this crazy cool mix of colonial architecture, think old British buildings, super faded and charming. I'm obsessed with that aesthetic. We wandered around, checked out the Bogyok Aung San market, which was a total sensory overload, but in a good way. So many beautiful things to buy, but I definitely spent most of my time trying all the amazing street food. Honestly, Yangon was just this crazy cool blend of old and new, and I was so here for it. It was the perfect intro to Myanmar, and I already knew this trip was going to be totally life-changing. Next up, Bagan. Guys, this place was straight out of a dream. Imagine thousands of ancient temples just scattered across this vast plain. It's honestly hard to wrap your head around how massive it is. Of course, I had to do the touristy thing and get up before dawn to watch the sunrise over the temples from a hot air balloon. And let me tell you, it was worth every single lost minute of sleep. Seeing those temples emerge from the mist as the sun came up was seriously spiritual. I even managed to put down my phone and just be present in the moment, for a hot second at least. We spent the next few days exploring as many temples as we could, each one more intricate and beautiful than the last. The whole place just felt incredibly peaceful and ancient, stepping back in time. I could have wandered around those temples for days, honestly. Okay, so from Bagan, we headed to Mandalay, which was the last royal capital of Myanmar. How cool is that? You can definitely feel the history in the air. Of course, no trip to Mandalay is complete without a visit to Mandalay Hill, which has the most stunning panoramic views of the city. We also checked out the Mandalay Palace, which was pretty impressive, even though a lot of it is a reconstruction. But the highlight for me was definitely the Mahamuni Pagoda. Inside, there's this giant golden Buddha statue that's been covered in so much gold leaf over the centuries that it's totally deformed. It's kind of wild, actually. Oh, and I can't forget about the Ubian Bridge. It's this super long, rickety-looking wooden bridge over a lake, and it's especially magical at sunset. We even saw some monks crossing it. It was like a scene straight out of a movie. Next up, we headed to Inla Lake, which is this huge lake in the mountains. The coolest part? People live on the lake, in houses built on stilts. They even have floating gardens and markets. It's honestly unlike anything I've ever seen before. The best way to get around is by these little wooden boats, and we spent our days cruising around the lake, checking out the different villages and markets. We even saw the famous Inla Lake fishermen who row their boats with their legs. How do they even do that? It's insane. We also visited the Phang Da U Pagoda, which is this beautiful golden pagoda that houses 5 ancient Buddha images. But honestly, the highlight for me was just chilling on the boat, soaking up the sun and the scenery. Inla Lake was definitely one of the most unique and memorable places we visited in Myanmar. Okay, so after all that temple hopping and exploring, I was definitely ready for some chill time. Enter Ngapali Beach. Guys, this place was paradise. I'm talking white sand beaches, crystal clear turquoise water, and palm trees swaying in the breeze. We spent our days swimming, sunbathing, and just generally living our best lives. I even managed to disconnect from my phone for a few hours and just enjoy the moment. It was truly glorious. We stayed in these cute little bamboo huts right on the beach, and every morning we'd wake up to the sound of the waves crashing on the shore. It was honestly the most relaxing part of the trip, and I was so sad to leave. Okay, so after our beach break, it was back to the temples. But this time, we were headed to the Golden Rock, also known as Kyaiktiyo Pagoda. This place is seriously impressive, you guys. Imagine a giant gold leaf-covered boulder just like precariously perched on the edge of a cliff. It looks like it's going to fall over any second. But according to legend, it's held in place by, wait for it, a single strand of Buddha's hair. Like what? We took a truck up the mountain and then hiked the last little bit to the top. And let me tell you, it was a workout, but the views from the top were totally worth it. The Golden Rock itself is pretty incredible up close, and the whole place has this like really spiritual vibe. Plus, the sunset from up there was pretty epic. Okay, so after the Golden Rock, we were ready for some more adventure. So we headed to Sipa, which is this charming little town in the Shan state. Sipa is known for its beautiful countryside and its trekking opportunities, so obviously, we had to do some hiking. We did a 2-day trek through the hills, staying overnight in a local village. It was amazing. We got to see how the locals live, try some traditional Shan food, which was surprisingly delicious, and just enjoy the peace and quiet of the countryside. The scenery was honestly breathtaking, with rolling hills, rice paddies, and little villages dotted here and there. It was definitely one of the most authentic experiences we had in Myanmar. Next up, we were off to Marauk-yu, which is this ancient city that's like totally off the beaten path. It used to be a powerful trading kingdom, and it's full of these incredible ancient temples and ruins. Imagine like Bagan, but way less crowded and way more overgrown with jungle vines. It's like stepping back in time. We spent our days exploring the temples, wandering through the markets, and just soaking up the atmosphere. Some of the highlights were the Shitong Temple, which has like thousands of Buddha statues, and the Kothong Temple, which is famous for its like massive reclining Buddha. Marauk-yu was definitely one of the most unique and memorable places we visited in Myanmar. It felt like we had the whole place to ourselves. Okay, last but not least, we headed to Mount Popa, which is an extinct volcano that's also a sacred pilgrimage site. Why? Because at the top, there's this monastery called Tong Kalat that's perched precariously on a sheer rock cliff. And let me tell you, the climb to the top is not for the faint of heart. It's like 777 steps straight up, and there are monkeys everywhere. Like seriously, monkeys everywhere. They're kind of cute, but also kind of scary because they'll totally steal your food if you're not careful. But the views from the top are incredible, and the monastery itself is pretty cool. Plus, you know, the whole experience is just very Myanmar. Okay, so we've talked a lot about temples and landscapes, but guys, we gotta talk about the food. Burmese food is seriously underrated. It's like this delicious mix of like Indian, Chinese, and Southeast Asian flavors. And it's so good. We're talking like creamy curries, flavorful noodles, and the freshest seafood you've ever had. One of my favorite things to do in Myanmar was just wander around the street food markets and try all the different snacks. Oh, and the tea. They drink tea in Myanmar like it's going out of style, and it's always served with like a little side of snacks. It's the best. Honestly, I could eat Burmese food every day for the rest of my life and be perfectly happy. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this trip was seriously life-changing. Myanmar is one of the most beautiful, culturally rich, and welcoming countries I've ever been to, and I can't recommend it enough. If you're looking for an adventure that will like totally blow your mind and touch your soul, then you need to add Myanmar to your travel bucket list. Trust me on this one. Please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more travel destinations in the coming videos. Thank you for watching.